Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. My name's Jay and this is my Whiskey Den. Going all Welsh this week, and on my journey I've never had a Welsh whiskey, and I thought I would try the Penderyn single malt Welsh whiskey. Now, Penderyn Distillery is in the southern part of Wales. It opened in 2000 but started selling whiskey in 2004. About 700,000 litres they can hold in their distillery. This is one of their flagship ones. They tend to put them in sherry casks or Madeira casks. So single malt Welsh whiskey, Madeira finish. It's a very tall bottle, as you can probably see. It's in some funky cardboard, so you don't have a box as such, so you can see it. It's 46%. Non-chill filtered, no colour added. Again, I did a whiskey burn on what does chilled filtered mean. It just means they don't change anything. They don't chill it to get rid of any sort of acids or colourings, etc. So let's see how we get into this without just ripping it. Here we go. My journey. I did a whiskey tasting where I'd had a lot of Asian whiskies. The Japanese one was very nice. Also an Australian one, which was very good as well. So out the box, very little on the bottle. Sorry, it's got it says Welsh Gold down the side, and I assume that word Cymru. Any Welsh watchers will tell me that's wrong. And on the back, it just has its usual, don't drink this if you're pregnant, you know your limits, 70 centilitres, 46%. And again, it says non-chilled filtered. So, very little on that. It's very light in colour, very pale. It's got a sign on there, and the glass comes out the side. I quite like the bottle. It's very modern. I feel it's a very modern bottle. Let's have a look at this. Fair bit of writing on the back. I'll whiz through it. Talks about the award-winning single malt whiskies. Brecon Beacons. Welsh Gold is extremely rare and precious, and worn by legendary Welsh princes. Tasting notes, the important part. Nose, a classic freshness with aromas of cream, toffee, rich fruit and raisin. Palate, crisp and finely rounded with sweetness to balance appetizing dryness. Finish, notes of tropical fruit, raisins, vanilla persist. Balance, oaky vanilla tones, dry and sweet. So, let's give this a try. Welsh whiskey, a first for me. We shall open the bottle and see what we get. So, relatively sweet. I don't know much about Penderyn. I always manage to break that whenever I do one of these. And then I just try and rip it, and I've got to... Oh, this comes off quite easily. Okay, so we're off. I've heard of Aberfoyle's. I've driven past the Aberfoyle's distillery. It's not massive, but then it's more about storage, isn't it? So, let's see what we get. Just remind ourselves what it says on the box for this one. Classic freshness with aromas of cream, toffee, rich fruit and raisins. So I'm expecting I feel like it's almost saying it's a little bit spicy. I don't know, one. I've not smelled something like that before. I'm getting cream and toffee, which is nice. And I have had that before, but... yeah, and the raisin. That smells really nice. I'm genuinely... nicely surprised by that, and I haven't got my my ice, so this is just going to be a pure tasting. It's really light in colour. I can't get over how light it is in colour. I did one on Whiskey Tears the other day. Can tell you about your drink. I've so got into airing now. When I did my whiskey tasting last week, I poured out some bells for everyone 45 minutes before they all turned up. Hid the bottle because some people could be snobby and don't like the bells.
Everyone tasted it, everyone tried it. I said, what do you think? Was it nice? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, really good. It's bells. Huh? And it tasted so different. So it does make a difference, I think, leaving it to air, if you can be bothered to wait. So the old tears on that is very little, so it's not going to be rich, embodied, but it is 46%. And straight away, I can smell the strong alcoholness on that. So this is one where I probably could do with my ice. Hey ho. It smells quite strong. So now it's in the glass. It's the cream and toffiness, I'd say, is gone. The alcohol for me is coming across quite strong. Probably if I'm getting any of their nose raisins, perhaps. Let's have a try. Quite pleasant. A little bit on the tongue, front of the tongue, back of the mouth. It's got a relatively short finish, even though what it says on here, finish, notes of tropical fruit, raisins, vanilla persist. Outside, I get vanilla on the finish. Palate, crisp and finely rounded with a sweetness to balance and appetizing dryness. Yes, I would say this is a dry whiskey. The smell is really quite strong when it comes to the alcohol percentage and that. Which is a shame, really, because when you taste this whiskey, it's really nice. That is really nice. Now the whiskey tears there. There's more. They're quite thin and long, which is what I would expect from this whiskey. Smells are really died down. And what I'm going to do is pause it here. I'm going to get some ice. So, pause. And we're back in the room, but with some ice. Hey-ho. So, as I was saying, I feel like the taste of this outdoes the smell. Although it's been aired. I mean, I literally ran out, got some ice and came back, but I paused, so you didn't have to see all that. The sort of half a minute I was gone, it's really calmed down. That's crazy. Let's try it now. It's relatively smooth. Tell you what, this has just proved my point about leaving it to air. It's a lot smoother than the first initial try some of this. It reminds me more of Irish whiskey than it does Scotch whiskey. I feel Scotch whiskey is like quite not as smooth, quite punchy. So I'm going to stick an ice cube in this and tell you that I think this actually it's won awards. So Welsh whiskey stopped producing in Wales in 1894. They opened in 2000 and then started selling it in 2004. They worked out how to mature whiskey quite quickly. Now I think what they've done is work out how to heat it up quicker, because get it humid, because in countries such as, say, Taiwan, India, it's such a humid climate that in Scotland it might take 12 years to mature a cask, but it'll take 3 years in India or so. So your time frame is just so much different. And if you haven't tried any Asian whiskies, like, definitely do. Like, a Japanese whiskey is absolutely beautiful, and they are getting very good at it. India, still the biggest consumer of whiskey, though. Okay, ice is in. Just mellowed it. Sometimes it really just plateaus the whiskey. That turn. So before I put the ice in, I had an aired swig, if you want, and
it had calmed. So I'd like to. What I'll do one day is I will leave a glass of this for 20 minutes, and just see what that's like, because I reckon that'll affect this one. I would definitely buy this again. Not gonna lie, got it on offer from online, and really happy that I got this. So the Penderyn, this one is called the single malt Welsh whisky Madeira finish. So I'm expecting it to be sweet anyway, as it said. There we go. A tasting of the Welsh whisky Penderyn single malt Madeira finish. Very nice. Well, that's it for this week. Just a quick taster on the Welsh one there. Why not? And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, please. It'd be good. Comment below. Let me know what you think of my whiskey burn episodes. That's it for this week. I'm going to have to pour myself a little more dram in there. Just a quick one. Don't want to overdo it. That's it for this week. Enjoy your whiskey. Sláinte.